Okay guys, it is time for a new update here on the Bitcoin price. I can already tell you we are also going to take a look at Ethereum today because I just opened a new Ethereum trade. Besides that, I have some very interesting on-chain data for today's video I actually want to take a look at first because we need to figure out in which direction the market sentiment is going to then figure out new entry points and entry prices for our upcoming trades. So let's not talk too much. As always guys, I would really appreciate it if you would smash up a like here on today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future updates, and also leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate it, and it shows the YouTube algorithm that the content is relevant right now. So let's just jump right into the on-chain data first, because this really shows us what sentiment the market at the moment has. Besides the social sentiment, that already is provenly at a very low point for Bitcoin as also for Ethereum, we can already say social interest is down. This is something that is relatively normal for Bitcoin because just the retailers don't care about an asset that just dropped 80%, which is the wrong way of thinking, but that's why they most of the time enter at the all-time high and then miss the bottom. That's always how it goes, right? That's why the social media sentiment right now is very low. One small bad sign is that right now Bitcoin and Ethereum are being discussed at a very low rates compared to altcoins as traders chase short-term pumps. This is for sure not a good sign. This just shows us that a lot of people are desperate right now. They stopped believing maybe in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now they are just looking for a quick altcoin pump to maybe make some money and then, for example, to exit the market all in all, after they maybe occurred some losses now entering at the higher prices for Bitcoin within the last year. So this is the first sign that sentiment right now for cryptocurrencies in general is not all too great, but that's not really something that proves that we cannot pump very, very soon, because in every bear market the social sentiment is always relatively low. What is much more interesting is actually the USDC number of exchange deposits, and this shows us how many USDC are deposited with a 7-day moving average onto exchanges. And what we can see here is that Bitcoin, every time we usually see a big correction and people think that it's a good price to buy again, that for sure we see a huge spike in USDC stablecoin deposits on exchanges, just because people want to buy the dip. Now we are seeing something that is a little bit of a bad sign already, because we saw a huge dump in the market, but we are not getting new stablecoin deposits in. And this shows us that there is actually no interest right now, or a lot of fear of buying this level, because people are expecting prices to fall lower. So this is, sentiment-wise, the first thing we need to keep in mind before now discussing direct chart patterns and finding out where our next entry price could be for our upcoming trade. So as you saw, sentiment right now, people are scared. People are not 100% confident in buying this dip, which is very interesting because this is the first time that people are not so interested in buying the dip since approximately, around the, $40,000 level. So people are not interested in buying it, even though we are at almost half again of the price. So this is a relatively bad sign and showing us that potentially the dump to the $16,000 to $14,000 level might still happen. So this means for me that I will still remain in my 3x long positions for the long term. I believe that everything below $20,000 is a good entry price for the HODL portfolio and super low leverage swing trades. But we still are shorting resistance. This is exactly what I did also with Ethereum now once again, because after the consumer price index numbers came out the day before yesterday and we saw a huge dump, not only because the consumer price index numbers, but also because, for example, here on the 1 hourly time frame, maybe you guys remember, I already told you that we had this beautiful rising wedge. That's why, maybe you remember, I also opened up a Bitcoin short position. I was in a Bitcoin short position. It was in a nice profit of above $10,000. I have to say that I was super busy. I was not really looking all too much on the charts at that day. Maybe you guys remember that I was actually making a video with my phone on the go because I was just traveling. And what you can see is that we saw a massive explosive pump. So I actually closed the trade at the end with a small loss. as you guys know, I always tell you when this kind of stuff happens. So I closed that trade with a small loss, but I knew that the sentiment is still bearish. So I knew that I want to take the next opportunity of resistance to short. And what we saw with Ethereum is that we saw a massive pump all the way up to the most important daily candle closes here around the $1,340 to $1,360 level, and then I decided actually to open a small short position here on Ethereum, which is also remaining open right now. I will actually put the stop loss in a profit just because I don't really want to risk here losing a little bit of margin again here in these bear market times. I want to make sure that the trades are scaling up my HODL portfolio in that time. So just being careful here, because we know that the Bollinger Bands are squeezing on the bigger time frames. Let's take a look on the daily once again. We know the Bollinger Bands are squeezing a lot after the couple last days, and this usually means that the next big price move is right around the corner when volatility really dies down. We can also see that on the weekly time frame, keeping that in mind. Removing here the Bollinger Bands real quick, we can really see that volatility is non-existent right now here on the weekly candles, because all of our for the entire last 4 weeks, our weekly candle closes only closed apart from each other around $1,000, which is almost zero volatility for Bitcoin usually. And when that happens, we tend to see a massive and volatile move shortly afterwards. So that's why I am still remaining careful here and waiting for Bitcoin to break on the weekly time frame the $1,900, the $19,700 level. The $19,700 level, we need to break it with a weekly candle, so we are back above our old weekly candle closes, our old weekly candle highs at the moment, which are performing or resulting in a nice, slightly upward sloping resistance here on the weekly time frame that we definitely want to break before getting more confident in a potential next run up to the $22,300 level, or even then higher levels like $26,000, $27,000. For Ethereum, it's exactly the same. As long as we are not really breaking here above finally the $1,440 level, there's no reason to get all too bullish. And that's why I'm still, while having my swing long positions open, I'm still deciding, right, to just go ahead. I will just put my stop loss in a profit here right now, just to make sure I don't forget it, because I have to leave in a short amount of time again after recording these videos. We just need to keep in mind that Bitcoin is not at the end of the bear market confirmed yet, just because there is still a lot of retailers in this market and also investors from the traditional space. That's why we still haven't seen a decoupling from the stock market with the Bitcoin price. This still means that there's a lot of retail and institutional investors that hold Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and as long as this is the time, these people will always have cryptocurrencies as their most risky asset in their portfolio, so they will liquidate them first in the case that we maybe get some new bad customer price index numbers, or we fall below the $18,800 to $19,000 level. I think around the $16,000 to $14,000 level, there won't be enough retailers and traditional space investors in the space anymore, and everything will be back in the hands of long-term investors and long-term believers of cryptocurrency. And this will be the time when then, even if the market drops lower, even if the economy starts going or continues to go into a recession, then we don't really need all the inflation, right? It's like above 10% on a global average right now, which is a good sign actually for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin should be pumping on that news, but it doesn't, because there is still too many retail and traditional investors in Bitcoin, and we need to see them getting washed out actually. So then we can see a decoupling again from the traditional markets, and this will be the time where then a bull market will occur again, maybe a much bigger one than ever before, just because the global economy is going then into a direction of a recession, but Bitcoin is pumping, and you know how this goes with the human mentality and the human brain. It will just at some point tell everyone, okay, I maybe need to buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum because markets have been going down and cryptocurrencies only have been rising. So this will be then the moment where we finally can say Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are a safe haven asset. But this is not the case yet. definitely will not happen in the next couple of days. We need some more time on our investment horizon here, and for the time being I'm going to try to accumulate as many Bitcoin and Ethereum as possible here at these low price levels. And if this means opening shorts till the whole thing finally turns around, then it is how it is, and we still need to remain in a few short positions, and we need to keep an eye on shorting resistance instead of just longing every single dump and then getting wrecked because Bitcoin then continues to fall later on. That's why we are also already short most of the time since $47,000. If you're going back into my videos, you will see that my biggest short position actually during this bear market was at the $40,300 level, a $3 million short position. I opened there with the expectant, where we already expected that Bitcoin at least falls to the $25,000 level. Just go back and watch maybe some stuff of that. But for now, I would really appreciate it if you would smash up a like, don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell, leave a comment down below, and I would really appreciate it if we are going to see us in the next video. I cannot tell you if I'm going to upload tomorrow or the day after, because if till tomorrow we are still remaining just at the exact same price levels, there's not really a big reason for me to upload a video, because I will just tell you the same again. So just make sure to have the bell active so you get a notification, and I will upload a video when it's necessary for sure. No worries about that. But now guys, we are going to see us in the next video. Till then, bye bye.